I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeti, yeti. Yes, sir. What it do? What it don't? What it is and what it ain't? It's your boy Don Otaku, aka Don Solo, aka Solo the Don, aka Solo D Swaggy, aka Lord Hater. Because I've been on a hating spree uh this past week. I had to I had to adopt the name. But this is Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast, episode 5. And with episode 5, we actually have a very special episode for this very special occasion. We will be doing. Actually, y'all need to know what we doing. We gonna get to it when we get there. But before that, of course, with me today is the Bagels, aka Subeg, aka the Green Thumb, aka the Gaming Gardener, aka the Plucky One. And last but not least, the co-host of this humble abode. How you feeling, man? What you been up to?
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good this week actually. I'm not gonna be as messy as I was last time. I'll tone it down a little bit, but I'm doing good, man. I just came back from my Delta community college, which I go to Delta. Met with a counselor. I was telling Don before we recorded, like every time you go to a counselor, I swear they always want a little something more out of you every time, you know. But I'm doing good. Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is gonna be a really good episode. It's gonna be a really good episode.
Let's fucking go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one. We actually planned this one pretty early, like second episode, third episode, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, as for myself, I've been chilling. Um, getting some more gaming in feels good. Played a lot of. Well, we gonna get into that. But yeah, still getting used to the new city after the move and everything. Um, it's a lot different out here. A lot of things I'm not used to. A lot of homeless people. I've never seen this many homeless people. Just like you just like no matter where you go, just homeless people. I'm not used to that in Houston.
It's pretty rampant out in my city. I'll say that.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad out here. You want to know why, real quick?
Why is that?
So there's like this mandate. I think I don't know if I've already talked about this, but there's this mandate in SF where they literally give like homeless people like $50 and like a bus ticket to come to my city
Why?
to like yeah. They want to get rid of all the homeless out there, so they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna go over there. But yeah,
I
it's
guess.
it's yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. But it's because there's hella homeless out in the bay, so it's kind of like they want to get rid of them and put them in a city that's that's already struggling. We
Damn,
literally have like
send them to
homeless.
Detroit or something.
Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. There's hella homeless everywhere. There's hella homeless everywhere.
Yeah, man, the Pacific Northwest is beautiful out here. Like some of the best sights that I've seen anywhere that I've traveled.
Hmm.
And then like you just go through all these mountains and these big ass trees, and out in Texas it's just fields on fields, flat land. But like it's crazy just going through here, and I'm just like, no, this is an entirely different environment than I'm used to. And then you just run into a bunch of homeless people and it just ruins everything. Nah,
Yeah.
but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, we getting through, we getting used to it.
Yup. Yup.
But let's talk about what we've been playing,
Yes,
and
sir.
we'll start with you.
Okay. So I can actually talk about the game because I'm finished with it and the embargo is up. So I last week I played, finished, and reviewed, or finished my review, which is still pending, but it should go up by the time. When is this episode coming out? If you don't mind me asking.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay, it should be up by tomorrow. But I played, review, and beat the Plucky Squire.
Let's
And
go.
yeah, no, this game was awesome. I I loved it. I loved every second of it. And I I rave about it in my review, and I really like the amount of variety that's in the game. And I was talking to my coworkers about this game specifically and Astrobot, and I think that I haven't played too much of Astrobot, but I think that it's really cool that this game, it pays homage to video games of like the past and present, but it does it in a way where it's not like dipping into nostalgia. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it in a really interesting way, and it's like um it's just such a unique game. And I was actually looking at the some of the reviews. I seen people were being like really nitpicky about it. One of the nitpicks that I seen that I actually didn't resonate with, like I don't agree with this, is but people were complaining about the forced stealth segments in the game. But in my opinion, those segments were so brief that it's like it didn't bother me at all. And
Like Wind Waker brief, like with the
yeah,
barrels.
yeah, it's like like the sections are over before they even begin, like low key. um but it's funny to me because gamers, people, like, I hear all the times like, oh, bring back Splinter Cell, like people want like stealth to be more like prominent. But whenever games have stealth elements, like it gets lambasted, like Star Wars Outlaws, like people hate the stealth segments in that game. And same thing with here, like people weren't like digging the stealth segments, but I feel like they're justified by the story, because you're put in those stealth segments for a reason. You're not just thrown in there for no reason. So it's like they actually justify it with the story. It's like, of course you're gonna need a stealth if you don't have a weapon, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like it kind of justifies it for me, and it wasn't an issue for me, at least. And another thing that I've seen a lot of people gripe on was the difficulty or the lack thereof of the game. But like, how I see difficulty is that the developer is the one that's in charge of that. And if they decide to make an easier game, then I can't really fault them for it. You know what I'm saying? Same thing with like Dark Souls or like FromSoft, where it's like they decide to make a challenging game. So it's like that's why I can't fault them for that. So those are the two little nitpicks that I've seen. But I love the game and it's awesome. The only the only gripes that I really had with it is, one, it's linear. Once you know the puzzle solutions, once you know where to go, that's always gonna be the solution for the puzzles. And that you're always like once you figure out the game, you're pretty much gonna always like know how to like move forward. It's not really that dynamic. And
Okay.
two, I really wish there was a separate mode just for the mini games. Like if you just want to play the mini games and not play through the story again, I kind of wish that there was a mode for that. But that's really my only two nitpicks with it. Other than that, the game is really good. The story is actually really funny. The characters constantly break the fourth wall. So and they like acknowledge both the player and like the bedroom that you're playing in.
Hmm.
um and it has a lot of twists and turns, and like it just diverts your expectations in such a cool and unique way. And I like that they don't dip into nostalgia for it. They do it on their own. And I want to commend All Possible Futures because this game was fucking awesome, and I think people should play it. I think I might actually do a little giveaway for the game. What you think about that?
Okay. Yeah, man.
Maybe I'll hit up Cog. I'll be like, Cog, give away this game on the next ILP. You feel me? But yeah, no, this game was awesome. Check out my review. I'm gonna have a video review out soon-ish. Gotta still capture gameplay and write a little script for it. But yeah, I love the game, man. I love the game. So that was the Plucky Squire. It's on all platforms, on PC, on PlayStation 5, Series X and S, and Switch. I played
Is
it on
on
Steam.
Ouya?
Did you say Ouya?
Yeah, is it on Ouya?
It's on Ouya? Nah, no, unfortunately, it's
I
not
only
on
got
Ouya. Sorry for the Ouya bros out there. It's not supported on that Ouya, but it's on most modern platforms, and it's not that expensive, and it's around 10 hours long if you get stuck with the puzzles, or if you're having a little difficulty of advancing, then it might take you a little bit longer. But it's a really good game. It has a really nice chapter select feature, and it has a really good like save select feature where it's like if you think that you're like the game is bugged, or if you think that the puzzle solution is like messed up in any way, you can go into the menu and it saves like multiple save points, so not just one, and it does it on its own.
Cool.
Yeah. And it has really good accessibility features. So it's like if you're having difficulty with the platforming, if you're having difficulty with the combat, there's stuff that you can toggle in the accessibility to make that stuff easier for you. So it's a really mindful game, and I love it.
Very demure, very mindful.
That's funny. Yeah, very demure. But yeah, I love the game. But as for other stuff that I've been playing, I have been playing a little bit of Space Marine 2. I still haven't played that much of the campaign, but I did play like the Horde mode with my boy Fortebrand. We couldn't play PvP because apparently PvP isn't cross-platform play with PC and consoles, so that's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, for the PvP specifically, but the campaign and the other mode.
Weird.
Yeah, I was confused by it because I thought
I can actually understand if it was the other way around. I feel like that would actually make a little more sense.
Yeah, but the PvP isn't cross-platform. Or at least that's what it said. Like I tried to launch into a game and it said that I couldn't launch in because my boy was playing on a console and I was on PC. But we could play the PvE modes and we could play the campaign in co-op cross-platform. So there's that. The game is sick, dude. The game is sick. Honestly, it gets a lot of Gears of War comparisons, but I kind of like the gameplay loop a little bit more than Gears because it has well, Gears is more of a cover-based shooter. Yeah. With like wall banging and stuff, but that's a little bit more of an expert mechanic. But this one you're not taking cover at all. You're always in the thick of it. And I really like that. And the melee combat is really fun. It kind of has character action tendencies where there's dodges, and then you can like combo your melees, and then you can combo your gunfire with the melees and stuff like that. The executions are low-key straight out from Doom. So it's like you're attacking a character, and if they glow red, then you can execute them. Either you can shoot them, or you can press the right stick in, and then you do like a really gory execution move. So that's a Space Marine. I'm digging it. I do not care about the lore of the game. I am not paying attention to I'm not paying attention to the lore.
I've heard a lot of people say that the lore is actually dope. Like,
yeah, no, it's sick. It's sick. My boy was actually my coworker. He's a huge Space Marine Warhammer 40K guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling me about the lore of the games and how like intricate it is, and how it's like a lot of games kind of take from Warhammer specifically, like they're inspired from Warhammer, so that's cool. But yeah, it's so convoluted and stuff, and it's too much for me to jump into. But I'm loving the gameplay. The gameplay's fun.
Wait, keep talking.
Yeah, I got you. No worries. So that's Space Marine 2. I still am on the second campaign mission. Still trying to get through it. Doesn't run that well on my PC. I'll say that. It's if I'm playing solo, then I can get around 70 to 80 FPS. on average. But if I'm playing co-op with a partner, then my frames drop more. So it's not running the greatest on my PC, but it's not running too bad. It's just
Talking about
like the
Space Marine
FPS.
still.
What happened?
Talking about Space Marine still.
Yeah, I'm still talking about Space Marine. It's not running that great on my PC, but it is what it is. I'm still waiting for them to update it with DLSS 3 and frame gen. Hopefully that will make things better. Um, so there's that Space Marine, and then the last game that I want to talk about just very briefly is I played a mission of Astrobot, and I
Just one.
just one. I played the you jump in and you're in like the sand level or whatever, and then you
Mm-hmm.
go to the first level where you collect Ratchet and Rivet and a bunch of other
Okay,
bots
yeah.
and stuff. Um, it's fun. It's fun. I have no complaints for it. I kind of wish that there was some sort of like role or like a way to move faster, just inherited into Astrobot's moveset.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been playing a lot of platformers where you do have a role, like the Plucky Squire, you do have a role and you could like speed around, and like same thing for like games like even like Psychonauts or stuff like that, where it's like you have a way to um m- move faster through the level if you want to. But outside of that, no, I'm having fun with it. I enjoyed the level. The game is really beautiful. It's a really beautiful looking game. I love the art style. It kind of it kind of has like, how do I describe it? Like the textures are very very clean, and they are very like, some of the textures are like realistic. Like I will say like the stone textures and stuff like that in the game are like really realistic, but then it also does this thing where it combines the realistic textures with um like
The more
imaginative ones as well.
animated, cartoony.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really liking the art style, and it does play off of Astro's Playroom. So if you did play that game, it's very similar to that one. But not too much to say about it. It is fun. I did like the level that I played. And yeah, I'm excited to continue to play it.
All right. And as for myself, I've also been playing a lot of Astrobot, and just going off of what Sebago said. Um, his hair whack, his fit whack, the car he driving whack. No, I'm just playing. Astrobot though, it's the more I play, the more, or I should say, the more I play, the less the less hate I have for it.
Okay.
The I shouldn't say the more I enjoy it, but the less hate I have for it.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. I'm enjoying it a lot actually. Um, the core, as we talked about last week, a lot of borrowed, very heavily inspired ideas from Mario, Kirby, other Nintendo games. But at the same time, the more I've been playing, the more I've been getting into these levels that have original, inventive ideas thrown in on top. And I'm like, oh, okay, they cooking with this one. I and then I just completed the second galaxy or world or whatever. I'm gonna call it solar system. The second solar system with the second big boss, and then got to the second PlayStation themed level, which I kind of already spoiled for Sebagos. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
um, but yeah, that level was pretty fun. Um, but yeah, man, I was actually playing it like nonstop for a bit. I was just kind of hooked on it. I was like, oh, I'm actually having fun. I wasn't getting bored. Then I finally got to those I call it the sacred symbols levels. because they have these secret levels, or I guess they're not really secret. But you have to do. That's another thing I like. So there are levels that, or when you're on the overworld map in one of those galaxies where you get to pick the stage that you're going to, they have these um they have these secret things that you can do in the overworld to unlock new levels. So just the fact that they kind of implemented some cool things into the overworld so that you're able to unlock new stages, I like that a lot. um Super Mario 3D World did it first, but no, I'm just playing. So they have these levels that are based off of the symbols, the PlayStation symbols: triangle, square, circle, X. And these are the challenge levels. These are the the ones that are gonna whoop your ass. So I finally did a, a slew of them, the circles and the triangles, and I ain't gonna lie, they was kind of kicking my ass, bruh. They was whooping me, bruh.
Okay.
I was like, oh no, this ain't. I wanted to make fun of them. It wasn't that bad though. I'm an expert, but the only thing that I didn't like about those levels is that they were way too short. Um, like the challenge levels are so short that it kind of defeat the challenge in the first place. But I saw a lot of people. I seen like Kami and some other people talking about. I thought this was a kids game playing these challenge levels, and after playing them, all I gotta say to all these people who were like struggling on these levels, you ain't never played Champions Road on Super Mario 3D World. That stage will whip your ass. That stage will make you cry grown man tears, because not only is it just as difficult, if not even more difficult, than those challenge stages on Astrobot, but the stage is also one of the longest Mario, like linear Mario stages out there. That stage, and then there's no checkpoints. So when you die, you go back to the beginning. So yeah, Champion Road, that's a killer. Um, the that one, that's a pit bull. This one, it's a terrier. It'll hurt, but you know you'll survive. You'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah. That kind of reminds me of the one of the final levels to get the platinum in Sackboy: Big Adventure. I don't know if did you play that one?
I wanted to, but I never had anybody to play it with. So,
Oh,
and I
okay.
didn't want to play it solo.
Yeah. So that's also a game that has like a very diverse set of moves. Like Sackboy, he rolls, and the roll in that game is like you could spam it, so you can like continuously roll. So I love that. But
Super Mario
the
Odyssey.
yeah, it is very inspired by 3D World specifically. Sackboy: Big Adventure.
That's
But
why I wanted to play it.
dude, it's actually a really good game. It's a really fun game. I'm not gonna say it's better or worse than Astrobot, but it's a really good platformer. And
it's multiplayer, so it is better.
but yeah, the one of the final missions in to get the platinum in Sackboy: Big Adventure, you have to go through a almost 15-minute long like platforming section, and you only have like you can only get hit twice, or else you completely you perish, and then you have to restart it over. And yeah, and to get the platinum, you have to do that mission in 10 minutes or less, I believe, to get the gold. To get like the gold, what's it called? Because there's like bronze, silver, and gold based on the how much time you complete the mission in. So it's like you have to complete it in a certain time to get that gold achievement or trophy and to get the platinum. So it kind of reminds me of that. It's like a 10-minute long platforming section, and
Yeah,
you literally can't mess up.
the
Like you have to do it perfect. Like you have to do it to perfection.
them PlayStation platformers, bro. They can't stop. They can't stop taking their inspiration from Mario. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been wanting to play Sackboy. One of these days, I'm definitely gonna get it.
Sure.
Second game that I've been playing a ton of is Peglin, which you can see on the screen right now. Um, I I don't remember if I talked about it on here.
I think you did
Okay,
briefly.
well, it's Peggle. It's Peggle. It's Peggle 3, but an RPG. And yeah, even though I was saying how I wanted to quit this game and I was on the verge of deleting it, I just keep coming back. Um, but as most roguelikes go, you start to unlock power ups and items that you start to get these omnipotent powers, and then I'm just like, oh shit. And then that one more run gets into you because you almost did it because you got this power up that was just so OP that you were just blazing through and you got farther than you ever got before. And yeah, man, this game is addictive as hell. And it's just such a chill game. Like when I'm just in the Discord, because it's not like you're paying attention to any story or anything. You're just
Hmm.
um, you just chilling in Discord, talking and just peggling. But yeah, highly recommend this game. Enjoying it a lot. And the new game that I tried out uh this week was Riders Republic, which just hit Game Pass. And this game is a Ubisoft game with a bunch of extreme sports, winter sports, and summer sports, I guess. Um, it started off as biking, skiing, snowboarding, and air gliding. I think those were the original sports. But since then, which is what made me interested in the game, they have added skateboarding and um there's another snowmobile. Like they've added snowmobiles as another sport. Um, but the one I was most interested in was definitely skateboarding. With the absence of skate, even though I'm in the alpha, the never ending alpha, um, I've been craving a new skateboard game, especially with all the Tony Hawk news that came out. I was like, this was the perfect timing. So the Game Pass version does not come with the skate add-on, the skateboarding
Mm.
add-on, but you can play different challenges and the tutorial. You just can't play like the full skateboarding like story mission. Um, which I was okay with. I was like, oh, I mean, these live events for skateboarding pop up, and I can still play those. I'm okay with that. So I was getting used to the feel of playing this one because I'm so used to skate. This happens every time I try any new skateboarding game. I'm so used to Skate's mechanics that everything else, like Session, Skater XL, they just feel off. And this one, I was like, okay, I'm gonna definitely just sit here and practice and just get the feel of it before I do anything else. Um, and that's what I did. And I actually started getting the hang of the controls and started to enjoy it a little bit. I was like, okay, um, it's different, but it's also intuitive at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So after a while, it just started to come kind of naturally. Even though I kept flipping on accident. Um, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the skateboarding section that I played, the missions, I was actually enjoying myself. I was like, okay, this is a good way to scratch that itch. Um, and then I played some of the biking, some of the snowboarding and skiing. I was like, okay, like the it it has that Forza Horizon feel in like the characters and the story and all this just happy party like I hate it. That's the one thing that Skate, or at least Skate used to do well with like Skate 1 and 2, is that it was more gritty and punk and attitude. It was the attitude era. This feels like it's just so all happy go lucky, and I'm just like, bro, I don't got time for all y'all happy ass people. Um, but yeah, I love what I played so far. I didn't really play too much because I'm trying to finish up Astrobot.
Are you trying to get the platinum for it?
Yeah, just
Okay.
because. I mean, it depends what the platinum entails. I'm gonna get all 300 bots and all the collectibles for sure.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how I play platformers. Like, I don't I don't go to the next stage until I collect everything in the stage. But yeah,
All right.
that's what I've been playing this week.
Nice. Sick. Not too much, but a good amount.
Yeah. So we're gonna blaze through some news topics that popped up really like the last 2 days. Like it
Yeah.
was really dry, and then yesterday and today they just decided we about to bless that Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast with some news. So starting with let's get the bad news, or some bad news, out the way first. Um, Annapurna, one of my favorite indie publishers out there. They have published some amazing games, and they had some more games that they were publishing that I was looking forward to. But it seems like right now that's in limbo because the devs, the employees of Annapurna, they just walked out. They they left the studio, and right now it just seems like Annapurna is basically defunct, which is horrible news. Especially after the whole Humble Games, we were basically losing three two of the big three when it comes to indie game publishing, which is wild. In the same year, not even like barely been 3 months since that happened. So let me go ahead and bring up Jason Schreier's article about what went down with this. So Jason Schreier says, "Scoop: the entire staff of Annapurna Interactive has resigned, leaving dev partners scrambling to figure out what's next. The video game publisher had been negotiating with Annapurna over Megan Ellison, Larry's daughter, to spin out. The deal fell through, and this is a Bloomberg article. I don't think I'll be able to read the full thing since I'm not subscribed, but I'll see how much information I can get." So this is from the article written by Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
"The entire staff of Annapurna Interactive, the video game publishing division of Megan Ellison's Annapurna Studio, resigned this month following a dispute with its owner. Annapurna Interactive president Nathan Gary and his team had been negotiating with Ellison, the daughter of billionaire Larry Ellison, to spin off the video game division as an independent entity. When Ellison pulled out of the negotiations, Gary and other executives resigned around 24 other staffers. Gary and other executives resigned and were followed by around 24 other staffers." I don't know if it's loading or if that's all I can get. Oh wait. Sorry, Alright, so here we go. "All 25 members of the Annapurna Interactive team collectively resigned," Gary and the group said in a joint statement. "This was one of the hardest decisions we have ever had to make, and we did not take this action lightly." A spokesperson for Annapurna confirmed that it had explored a spinoff and said the parties failed to reach an agreement, which led to the resignation. "Our top priority is continuing to support our developer and publishing partners during this transition," Ellison said in a statement to Bloomberg News. "We're committed to not only our existing slate of games, but also expanding our presence in the interactive space as we continue to look for opportunities to take a more integrated approach to linear and interactive storytelling across film and TV, gaming, and theater." So, how are you feeling about this news?
Yeah, this is sad because the game industry is already going through it, and Annapurna they kind of focused on the smaller devs, and I don't like seeing the smaller devs. I don't like seeing any of the devs struggle, but they had a lot of talent fostering there, and it's sad to know that we're pretty much gonna have one less like indie publisher, kind of, the main one that all I can think about now is Devolver Digital.
Yep.
Like I know there's that's basically it. So it's sad, man. It's sad. I don't like this news.
Well,
I don't
never
like
mind.
that.
Sorry. There's Team 17. They're also pretty
Okay. And then there's also that division that
private
is
division.
under,
Private division basically got axed, if I'm remembering correctly, by 2K. Either I don't know if they got fully axed, but I know they had some deep cut layoffs.
Yeah, it's just it sucks, man. It sucks. It like I hope that the people that well, I mean, first it was like the strike, right? It was like the workers, they decided to leave on their own, and then it's kind of like it got shut down. Well, no, the people resigned. Sorry, it
Yeah.
wasn't a strike. They resigned. But yeah, man, it's sad. It's sad to see. I don't. I just hope for the best for them. I hope if they can potentially, the main people that were heading Annapurna, hopefully they can maybe make something new, make a new little publishing label.
Yeah. The
But
talent
yeah.
seems to still be like they resign as a whole.
Hmm.
So I wouldn't put it past them that they can build their own Annapurna with
Yeah.
booze and hookers. But
Yeah, but yeah, for sure.
yeah, man, this news is sad just because like Annapurna as a developer and as a publisher were just amazing. And then no matter how bad the AAA space got, the indies were always there to to get you through the worst times, which I consider the worst times, the PS4 and Xbox One gen, especially early on. That's when I really started getting into indie games. Ori, um, Shovel Knight, games like that started popping up. Rogue Legacy, these type of games started to pop up and become these big deals on the level of the AAA. And I was like, okay, this is this. It was bringing back that Xbox Live arcade feel, because
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So oh, and damn, PlayStation. What was that one called? The um
Octodad.
no. Uh, I
Dust
actually
of
like that
Elysian
game. I ain't
still.
gonna lie. That shit was fire. Um, Resogun.
Resogun.
Yeah,
Yeah, Housemark.
Resogun.
That's Housemark.
Yeah, Housemark. Um, yeah, man. I this is devastating news to me. I'm hoping that the talent can come together and you know stick together, keep that talent, and build something that is basically what they were already doing. The one thing about that is the funding is obviously not going to be the same as being backed by billionaires at Annapurna, but I'm hoping that they can they can still do something, or they can, Annapurna realizes their mistakes and makes a deal that they would actually sign. So yeah, just some news that wanted to get out there. But let's go on to the next piece. And this is actually something that I want to put on the screen. So give me just a moment. So AI has been a concern in every facet: business, movies, music, and of course in video games as well. And there is a pretty negative stigma towards AI, especially in the gaming industry. And there's definitely a right to have that negative stigma, because we know that there is a lot of potential for bad to be done with AI. And we know most of these big corporations will do bad as long as it lines their pocket, and they won't hesitate to do the wrong thing and use what should just be a tool, use it in the worst way possible. But at the same time, I love the idea of seeing new tech and seeing things that I've never seen before. So the idea of AI is still something that I want to see where it goes. And EA just had a presentation, conference, keynote, whatever you want to call it, where they were showcasing a new AI model that they were working on. And I'll just let the video speak for itself. Let's see, right here. Go in. Okay. Have you seen this video yet?
No, I haven't.
All right. So this one, so Jeff Keighley posted this, and he says EA Chief Strategy Officer Mihir Vaidya demonstrates how EA plans to supercharge user-created game content with AI in this concept video, Imagination to Creation, from EA's Investor Day event in NYC today. So I'm gonna play that.
We call this space Imagination to Creation. To bring this to life, let me show you a concept video that stitches together some of our more exciting experiments in service of imagination to creation. Let's take a look.
Hey, what if we made a game out of cardboard boxes?
Yeah, let's do it.
Make a maze of cardboard boxes. What do you think?
Not
Sorry,
bad,
just a little quiet.
but maybe a little too simple.
Let me
Make
pronounce
it more complex. How's that?
What if we make it multi-level? Whoa, let's give that one a go.
That's cool. All right, who are we gonna play as? Make 2 characters with weapons. I want.
Okay, let's see. Here we
Oh,
go.
I like this one. Not
Now
that
my
one.
weapon of
How
choice.
About... Ooh. Not bad, not bad.
Okay, that's cool, but how do we fight? Show me 1v1 combat options.
It should be a death match.
Right?
Here I come.
You gotta find me first.
Wait, what if we made it so we could only die from a grenade?
Oh, now I'm definitely going to win. Add a rule that you can only die by grenade.
I'm almost there.
I've got something for you. Almost got you.
Nice try.
Ugh, dead end. I think this world needs to be bigger. Make it more epic. Wow. Are you seeing this?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let me take a moment to describe some of the more transformative elements embedded in the video you just saw. What you saw was an illustration of 2 friends jumping into an open sandbox and then creating a new world made of boxes in real time without
And then
any coding.
he kind of just explains it. He doesn't really tell you anything new. But as you can see, it is a proof of concept. So there's no guarantee that we will ever see this actually come to fruition. But I just love the idea of it, and if we can even get something close to that, I feel like that would be something that would make, like, something that you can only do with AI. And that's what I want to see. I want to see these experiences that only AI can do. Like I talked about last week when I was at PAX West, the PvP dating sim with the AI, uh, the AI driven chatbot that you would compete for.
What was that game called?
It was called Pick Me, Pick Me.
Pick me, pick me. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these are the type of experiences that I want to see. Some of these things that just like you can throw 1,000 of the best developers into a studio and they still wouldn't be able to pull off something like this. Now, like I said before, I understand the concerns, and I know a lot of people don't want to see they don't want to see AI become a thing because 9 times out of 10 it is going to be used in the wrong ways. And I understand that. But at the same time, I also feel that executives, the big companies, they're gonna do bad things regardless if it's AI or not. We've seen them do bad things for 30 years now in gaming, and that was before AI even or I won't say AI existed, but this AI existed. So the ones that I think the trade-off for AI is actually worth it for the indie developers, especially the indie developers, the ones who are actually passionate about what they're doing, the ones who can figure out new and creative ways without using it as a way to replace workers and work cheaper. Those are the things that I want to see, and it's EA. They'll probably do something cool like this and then do 10 things that that you'll just be like, bro, AI was a mistake.
Yeah.
But I just like this concept. I like the ideas that they were throwing out, and the fact that it was so dynamic on how they were able to just change the levels and add rules, add gameplay elements. Like I said, there's high chance that we don't get to that stage where we're actually playing something like that. But I just wanted to see how people felt about this. But yeah, how'd you feel about the video?
Yeah. So that was my first time watching it. I think that it's interesting if they can make, because I'm not against AI. I'm not really for it, but if they can make game development more streamlined for devs, then I am for it. Um, but like the only thing that I would have pushback against AI is that I don't want developers or video games to like lose the human touch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've talked about this on previous episodes, but I really like feeling like when you're playing a game, really feeling like the devs' intentions or like their kind of soul that they put into the game.
Yeah.
So if they can utilize AI in a way where it makes game dev easy for them, but the developers themselves, the humans, can still inject their soul into their creative works, then I'm still for it. But it's gonna be a tricky road going forward though with AI especially. Hopefully we can rein it in. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
But
think
yeah,
there will be any reining in. We'll
not
just
for
have to
EA at
hope.
least.
Yeah, we'll just have to hope that the positives outweigh the negatives.
exactly. But
It's
yeah,
like because it's like when we look at the Xbox Live arcade era of what indie games were back then, and then now an indie game can be Lost Soul Aside, or
mhm.
uh what was that one game that was supposed to launch for the Series X? It had the like demo, and then the full version came out with the girl and the sword
Oh
and the
yeah,
gun.
yeah. It's like a shooter, right?
Yeah, and it was a one man
Ah,
team. Um
I know what you're talking about, but I'm forgetting the
Something
name.
Infinite. I remember like the real game was Infinite. It was something Infinite. I can't remember it. But yeah, if you're looking it up, you
Yeah, I'm looking it
probably.
up right now. I'm trying to.
So yeah, something like that, because of how UE5 and these engines have given indie developers the power to make something close to AAA. And I think AI is going to close that gap even further, where 5-man, 10-man teams can make something that you would think that 100-man, 200-man team made, like AAA status.
Yeah, I'm literally not finding the game.
Let me see. Go.
Not not Infinite in Discovery. That's a 360 game.
Oh, bro, that was fire. No, not Halo Infinite. Damn it,
Yeah, that's
I forgot. It's
it's
just
like
gonna be
some.
nothing but Halo Infinite.
Yeah, dude, I'm forgetting the name too. Fuck.
Um, let's see. That was revealed in 2019 or 2019, or no, it was 2020. Something. Oh man, Halo. Why did you have to have the name Infinite also?
Yeah,
This is gonna haunt me.
it's
Forget
okay.
about it.
It'll come to me. It'll come to me sooner or later.
But yeah, I'm tentatively excited for what AI can bring. You know,
Sure.
I'm like here. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, um, speaking of EA, our next topic is some new Battlefield. The next Battlefield. We got some details straight from Vince Zampella and the team that is working on this game. We got our first concept art, and some of the things that were confirmed is that this will be a modern setting Battlefield. It will have 64 player maps, back to back from the 128 on Battlefield 2042, which a lot of people did not like. Classes are returning. Specialists will not come back. It's gone. So basically, the Battlefield 3/Battlefield 4 era is considered the peak of Battlefield, and Zempilla says we have to have the core. The core Battlefield players know what they want. Basically saying that this is going to be a return to form, back to the basics of what made the games that made Battlefield great. 3 and 4, going back to what the people want. Always good to hear that. And EA plans to launch a community program next year.
Okay.
And I thought I had a different tweet. Let me see if I can find because there was a little bit more details that I saw on someone else's tweet.
Mm-hmm. Was it about the battle royale mode?
Yes. So game. No, this one doesn't. Well, we got some extra details about like who's working on the game. Criterion is doing the single player and also helping with the multiplayer. Most likely the vehicle combat. We know Criterion is known for Need for Speed, and they helped with the they've always helped for a while with the vehicle combat and vehicle handling in Battlefield and Battlefront. So they're also doing the single player campaign, which I don't believe they did a campaign before. So that should be interesting. I need to find this tweet because I can't remember everyone off. I know. Trying to remember everything off my head, but it is not coming to me. So let me find that. It was the new studio that I can't remember their name. They're working on the new experience, which is most likely a battle royale or something big scale like that. So let me see. Okay. Here we go. The next Battlefield game will be built by 4 studios at EA. DICE for the multiplayer, obviously. Criterion Games for single player and helping with the MP. Motive also helping with the single player. We know Motive, they did the Dead Space remake. They did Star Wars Squadrons. And then Ripple Effect, that's the new studio. They are working on a new experience, which a lot of people think is Battle Royale or something alike. And then there's also some more information from Insider Gaming, who confirmed after Tactical Brit on Twitter said, after doing more takes at the Battlefield concept art, I feel almost 80% certain this is in fact Gibraltar. I don't know how to say that, I ain't gonna lie. Gibraltar. That.
It sounds like a map in Overwatch.
And he says, it makes perfect sense for any game with a theoretical conflict, as Gibraltar acts as a strategic bridge between Europe and Africa. And then Insider Gaming, Tom Henderson, I believe, came in and basically confirmed, yes, it is in Gibraltar. So we got some game modes that we can expect, the setting, the time period, the player count, class system returning, return to core, or at least they're promising to try to get back to that Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 experience. Yes. How are you feeling about this new Battlefield? Have you been a Battlefield fan at all?
Yeah. I actually my first ever Battlefield game was Bad Company 2 on the PlayStation 3. I also played that one on the 360. I think I have both copies of that one actually. But yeah, so that was my first ever Battlefield game, was Bad Company 2. That game was really good. I don't remember the campaign all that well, but I remember the multiplayer.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it.
I was gonna say, I've besides Bad Company, the campaigns have all been kind of meh to me
Yeah,
at least.
yeah. No, I was so the ones that I've played are I've played Bad Company 2, I've played Battlefield 3. Battlefield 4 was one of the launch games that I picked up on the PS4. It was a little weird quirk about DICE is most of their games
Don't work at launch.
after,
Oh.
yeah, they don't launch well at all.
But
And I remember that was the case for Battlefield 4 at launch. It
it
was
was terrible.
horrible. It was
I think it was
horrible.
almost a year before they finally got it like really working. It was
Yeah.
that was the PS4 Xbox One era is the worst gen of all time. There was so much
God.
wrong with that generation. The Baron, like the Baron first like 3 years, then the games that you were looking the most forward to, the most hyped up games ever, Watch Dogs, Battlefield 4, Halo Master Chief Collection, Assassin's Creed Unity. It was like every time I got my hopes up for something, I was let down.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say the start of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One gen was rough. It definitely started off rough, but I think towards the end it was pretty solid, and especially when they made the Pro consoles, the PS4 Pro
Yeah.
and the One X, it started to pick up from there,
And
and that
performance.
generation
Oh
finally,
my god.
yeah,
The
exactly.
performance of these games were
It
disgusting.
was rough. It was rough for sure. But
And the
oh, go ahead.
promise of these like high powered consoles, the new evolution, and they were barely 360 until like the end of the generation. Started getting some really high quality looking games, even with those
Yeah.
underpowered hardware.
Mm-hmm. But but yeah, so I remember getting the PlayStation 4 on launch day. I got Killzone Shadowfall, Battlefield 4, and COD Ghosts, which are all fucking first person shooters now that I think of it. I remember the one that I was actually most excited to play was, oh, and I also picked up Resogun. I picked up Resogun as well. And I remember being really excited to play Battlefield out of all the games. And I remember it was just horrible. Like the matchmaking was bad. It was really buggy. Um, the game looked really good still, even then, but it just wasn't like a finished product. And I
Exactly.
remember I was like, fuck this. Let me just go play Call of Duty. I put in Call of Duty Ghost and it worked perfectly fine.
Too bad it was one of the worst Call of Duty
Yeah, it
ever.
was one of the first CODs, but I will
I
say
said
COD
worst.
Ghost, COD Ghost was the first Call of Duty game to introduce the sliding mechanic. So
Yeah.
it still is really important in the grand scheme of things in Call of Duty history. But yeah, so I played Bad Company, Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. I have the platinum in Battlefield 4 actually. I played Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. So I played all of those. I didn't play much of Battlefield 5. I did actually play a lot of Battlefield 1. I think that game was good and it had a
Battlefield
really
1 was amazing.
interesting, yeah, that they had a really interesting campaign because they shied away from doing like a complete story, and then they had these like vignettes, I think they called them. So it's like you would play like little timepieces of what was happening instead of it being like the whole campaign, which was really cool. I really like that idea that they threw out there for that one.
The only
But yeah,
thing
and
I remember from that campaign is me yelling, "I'm a pigeon! I can play as the pigeon!" That was it. That was the whole campaign for me.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, and then Battlefield 2042 launched, and it was pretty rough, and I don't know if it's in a good place. I haven't played it in a while. I've only played a few matches, but
It's in a
uh
decent place, but
yeah.
it's it's not getting. It's not gonna. They can't do anything with that to make
Yeah.
it what Battlefield players wanted.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that game was rough and yeah, we're kind of in Battlefield limbo. I mentioned in the Lords of Gaming Discord, I low key think COD ate its lunch because COD not only has like a battle royale mode, but they also have that mode with like a large player base as well, kind of like
Oh
Rush, I
yeah,
guess you could
Ground
say.
War. They
Yeah,
they
Ground War.
basically did Conquest. 32,
Exactly.
32 vehicles, all that. That's when I was like, yeah, Battlefield, you're done so. Especially
Yeah.
after Battlefield 5. This is y'all. This is what y'all coming, bro. Okay, you remember, in 2021, the first time we're getting a Halo, a Call of Duty, and a Battlefield in the same year,
Yup.
and they were coming out like within a month of each other.
Yeah.
And we Halo, the reveal kind of shut the bed, but the multiplayer trailers and everything were kind of bringing people back. Like, okay, maybe this will be good. And then the Call of Duty Vanguard rumors before we even saw the reveal about how the game was just gonna be rushed out, and they just fucked, like, Sledgehammer fucked up the game. They had to pass it to Treyarch, and all of this stuff about just how the game was just a mess. And then that Battlefield 2042 trailer, one of the best like multiplayer trailers in recent years that I can think of, because everyone was so hyped for that game because of that trailer, that reveal at the Xbox conference. That gameplay showing was like, oh my god. Everyone's like, Battlefield is so back. It's
Yeah.
There's like, this is the one that's gonna win out of the three. And then we saw what happened.
It's unfortunate
yeah.
because I remember being like, I remember I was most excited for Battlefield at the
Me too.
time. And
Maybe not as much as Halo, but I'm just a Halo stan.
yeah. But yeah, they definitely fumbled the ball with that one. It took like a year and a half for them to even add like a scoreboard.
Bruh, that is
So
so
it's like,
wild. Oh, by the way, one of the devs did say Battlefield 3 and 4 had a scoreboard at launch, right? Basically hinting that they're gonna have a scoreboard at launch.
well, I
Yeah,
would
such
hope
an
so.
amazing, just innovative feature to add to your multiplayer game that you have to announce it beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the devs were outside. There was a lot of devs coming out and just making comments about the game and talking about things that we should look forward to. So yeah, hopefully this time, for real, Battlefield is actually back. And the one thing that makes me feel like I can trust this game more is Vincent Pella. That man has never put out a bad game in his career. Speaking of, I didn't get a PS4 or Xbox One at launch.
Okay.
I got the Xbox One in March 2014 when Titanfall came out.
Okay.
That was, well, also just the launch lineup just being way better. on Xbox One. That's the reason I got it first, and then I got the PS4 later. But yeah, Titanfall was what made me jump to the next gen, because honestly, I wasn't feeling either one of them.
Got it. Okay.
So Vincent Pilla, that's my man. And with him behind Battlefield, I'm like, okay, I'm a trust you.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He is kind of spread a little thin though, but hopefully he does right the ship, because Call of Duty needs a competitor, and and I think there is a space still that's missing in the gaming space for like a squad based large battle kind of shooter. Even though Call of Duty has those modes, it still doesn't excel in that. You know, it still does excel in like close quarters, quick, like fast paced gun action and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like it doesn't do everything that Battlefield does, which you know, I would like to see Battlefield come back, and I will say I hope they, because I remember in some of the later Battlefield games, you had to spawn into the vehicles via like the respawn menu.
Yeah.
Like
Instead
you
of
couldn't
going off the
find the vehicle.
runway.
Yeah, exactly. Like I want them to bring that back, where you can go find the vehicles out in the world and like actually like you know, launch them off of the runway and stuff like that. That'd be fun. But I'm optimistic though. I'll say that I'm optimistic about Battlefield. I think they're due for a good entry.
Yeah. And for me, Black Ops 6 is the comeback, at least for me. I know people, they play Call of Duty no matter what, but for me at least, Black Ops 6 is that comeback moment for Call of Duty. I'm hoping that this Battlefield is also going to be that comeback moment, and then we'll get that Halo creative assembly game, you know, the one that they teased 3 years ago.
Oh,
Hurry
I
up,
by the way,
get that.
I found the game. I finally found it.
What was it?
It's called Bright Memory Infinite.
Bright Memory, yes.
I scrolled through almost 1,000 titles on Xbox to find that. but I got there at the end. But anyways, my bad.
Yeah, man. That was Battlefield. Probably gonna be seeing a reveal, a full reveal, a real reveal, gameplay and all. I think maybe the Game Award. I think we might see something at the Game Award. I think that'd be a great place to put it.
Sure.
But yeah, you like Re-Rock?
Re-Rock?
Yeah, you like that Re-Rock? You know Chuck with when he was talking about remasters and remakes. Be like, y'all just want that Re-Rock.
I see. Okay.
And you know who loves to Re-Rock? PlayStation. You know who loves to Re-Rock things that don't really need to be Re-Rocked?
At all.
PlayStation.
Yep.
And guess what? When you thought that Last of Us Part 1 was the most useless Re-Rock of all time, guess again, because they have outdone themselves with this one. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered for PS5 and PC has been rated by the ESRB, basically meaning that it will be coming soon. Now, we have heard rumors about this, and I just wanted to believe that it wasn't true. Like, they wouldn't actually do this. But boy, was I wrong. Because knowing that this is the ESRB rating, and I think I joked about it on here or either on here or on Project Untitled, I joked about the launch game, the launch first party game for the PS5 Pro was gonna be Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered.
Yeah.
When a game gets an ESRB, that means that game is basically done. It is imminent. It is about to come out within some months. What else is coming out within some months? The PS5 Pro
$699.
plus accessories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what better way to showcase the power of the PS5 Pro with another PS4 game? Let's fucking go.
God damn it, Sony.
So yeah, Herman Host, that man was like, I wonder how Herman Host feels about, like, does he see the whole, like, how people on Twitter talk about Horizon games and all this stuff? Does he just think like, man, I just make masterpieces. Horizon, greatest franchise ever made. This is my magnum opus. Killzone can never.
Yeah.
Because we get in this generation, we got the Horizon Zero Dawn PS5 update, Horizon Forbidden West, Lego Horizon, and now Horizon Zero Dawn remaster. Not remake like Last of Us Part 1. I thought they were just gonna do full blown remake. So we have to see how it's gonna look. I'm guessing it's just gonna look like Forbidden West, but just the first game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man. Day one.
Hell no. I platinumed the first. I platinumed Zero Dawn and Forbidden West both in 2022, and I remember playing. So I played both of them on the PlayStation 5. I remember playing Zero Dawn, the PS4 app, on the PS5, and it ran perfectly well. It looked sharp. It looked good.
Great.
It ran at 60 FPS. It looked great. Matter of fact, I actually think the image quality for the PlayStation 4 app on PlayStation 5 of Zero Dawn looks better than the image quality of Forbidden West, and that's a PS5 app. So, I think that it's redundant. It's stupid. I don't know why they're doing this, but I guess they need like a.
Money.
It's actually weird because Lego Horizon is coming out like I think like 6 or 7 days after the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out. So
Oh yeah.
it's weird that.
But that's not
Sorry,
not a showcase for the power.
Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. It's not a showcase, but
Hey, Horizon fans, you don't want to play this Lego version, this kitty version? How about you just buy Horizon Zero Dawn one more time?
yeah, exactly. But it's just so redundant, man. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed that they're actually going through with this, actually. But we know Sony at this point. They like to nickel and dime, and they like to what's it called? Especially this generation, they like to bring forward games and make PS5 apps for them.
You know what they could bring for it? That I'd allow the re-rock.
Gravity Rush 2,
Gravity Rush 2.
Puppeteer.
I don't care about that.
What else? Maybe the Starhawk or Warhawk games.
Now the real thing.
Bloodborne.
No one cares about Bloodborne. The real thing that we need the remake for is Legend of Dragoon. I don't care who you gotta get Legend of Dragoon remake happening.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's nothing much to say here.
Yeah,
It
it's
was just funny.
it's funny. It's also funny because it got overshadowed by another leak, which we'll talk about
Yep.
in a little bit. But yeah, Horizon, that series is cursed. Even though PlayStation wants it to be a thing, that series is low key cursed in a sense. But yeah.
I mean, it sells. That's the, well, we know we're not gonna talk about how every like 80% of the copies are bundled, but you know, it sells.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's cursed in the fact that it does bad, but it's cursed in the fact that it always is getting overshadowed by something else.
Shout out to
But
Breath of the Wild, the Horizon Killer.
shout out to Elden
Shout out
Ring.
to Elden Ring, the
Yeah.
second Horizon Killer.
Yeah.
Both games 20 million plus.
Yeah.
Just making Horizon look bad.
For sure.
But they like look at the graphics. Look at them graphics. And then they're just outselling them like it's nothing with worse graphics. Even though I would say Elden Ring has some beautiful art direction, even though actual graphic fidelity is not what it excels at.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. If I am going to say a positive about Horizon, it is a very how do I say it? Because it is fun if you engage with it, and it's cool if you because there's moments where you can slide underneath the robots, and then if you slide underneath the robots, you like pull the arrow back, and then you trigger the slow motion. It has some cool elements in it, but the positive that I wanted to say about Horizon is that the games they run well. So there's that. They run really well on the console. I'll say
I've
that.
said this before. I'll say it again. Horizon Zero Dawn, or the Horizon series, is the J. Cole of 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 gaming. It it should be cool. It should be something that I like, but there's just something off about these games, and I can never get into it. And it has all the elements that would make you be like, yeah, man, this should be a top tier franchise for me. It has like I love open world games, robot dinosaurs and robot animals. Shit looks cool. It does cool slow mo stuff. Um, you know the I guess I never really liked the combat like that.
The second game's combat is way better than the first. I'll say that because they
I need to
introduced a
try it
lot
out.
more weapons. I really like the spear weapon that they introduced, where you can like throw the spears.
Yeah.
You can get variants of that where you throw the spear and it explodes. So it has cool and interesting concepts. The
But
world is cool. I like
the
in-
world is cool.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
characters, the story, Aloy, terrible. I cannot bring myself to give a lick about them. It's
Yeah.
so like Aloy as a character is just so unlikable, and
Yeah.
her, I just could not bring myself to be interested in anything that was happening in the first game.
That's fair.
And I wanted to play the second one because it looked like they improved a lot. But then I hear the story and the characters are even worse. I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you even do that?
Yeah, it's weird because I will say like the gameplay is better in the second one, but yeah, the story and like what's driving the plot, it's a lot more disgruntled, I would say, or maybe like it's not as coherent.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll leave it there for Horizon.
All right.
I won't
enough-
slander it too much.
Enough Horizon slander. We'll get some more Horizon slander when this and Lego Horizon comes out.
Sure.
All right, back to some sad news. At least for me, I know this isn't a franchise that the hardcore care about, but for me, this is one of the most devastating pieces of news that
Mhm.
I've gotten this year.
Sure.
And earlier this year, I talked about a game, one of my most anticipated games. It was called Life by You. It was a Sims competitor made by Paradox, and it had the producer of the original Sims games 1, 2, and 3, the good one. And he was heading this game at Paradox. He was basically bringing back everything that was missing from Sims 4, that Sims 3 and Sims 2 had, the open world, and even innovating more by adding customizable speech boxes and creating your own conversations and all of this like customization and modding, the customization of clothes, characters, houses, just taking everything to the max compared to the very middling, bare bones Sims 4, where they just took everything out that people loved about the Sims 3. Like Sims 3 was kind of it was a perfect base. And Sims 4, they threw that all away. They were supposed to be making this multiplayer experience. This was also during the era where the new SimCity was coming out, and that was supposed to be like a always online city builder where other like players would be in the city, and there was things that would happen when it was a whole thing. It failed miserably with the whole implementation with the always online, and then they backtracked, made an offline version, but SimCity basically died there. Sims 4 was basically going down that same route where they were trying to do this whole multiplayer implementation. They were like, okay, we need to backtrack and make it a single player game. And because of that, we just got this half-assed game, just completely bare bones. And since then, they have, for a decade now, basically tried to build it back to what Sims 3 was. Playing catch up for like, now they I'm not gonna lie, some of these expansions have some new things that we've wanted, and they do a good job with some of these expansions. Now, you have to remember that there are like 20 expansions, and they're $40, and then the stuff packs are like $20 each, and there's like 40 of those. It's a cash grab. It is without a doubt a cash grab, and for the complete experience with The Sims 4, you're dropping a console. So there's a lot to not like about The Sims 4. But earlier, or I think it was last year, EA finally announced, EA and Maxis, the developers of The Sims, finally announced their new project, Project Renee. And basically that was Sims 5, and we got a little glimpse of the customization that they stole. They basically kind of just stole from one of their indie competitors that was coming out, which is Paralives. But they were basically showing off like, hey, you know those things that you were requesting for all these years? We're doing it in this one. So we got the announcement. We're like, okay, cool. Hopefully this like fixes what the Sims 4 broke, and we get a good base again. Well, turns out today that Sims 5 is now no longer in development. And this is coming from Wario64 from a Variety article where he says EA says there are no plans for a Sims 5 game. The Sims 4 will continue to receive updates, paid expansions, and an upcoming multiplayer mode. EA says the main reason for no Sims 5 is concerned that players would have to start all over again after a decade's worth of gameplay of The Sims 4. Now, mind you, every Sims from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, we start from scratch. And by we start from scratch, I mean they'll have the pets expansion. They'll have seasons expansions that come out, and then when you go to the next game, those will not be in the base game, and you have to wait for those expansions to come out again for this version, and you have to buy the expansion for that game, even though they already, like, all the expansions that they do in the previous game, they don't even try to implement them into the next base game. If anything, they take out even more, especially with The Sims 4. You couldn't even they didn't even have swimming pools or toddlers. It was like they took out more than what the Sims 3 base game had. So, long story short, because Sims 4 is a terrible base, even with all of these expansions, even with the good that they've fixed a lot of stuff, but this is not what I wanted the base to be, because the biggest thing especially is that it's not open world like Sims 3 was. Sims 3, you walk out of your house, you go across the street, go to your neighbor's house. You get in the car, drive into the city, go to work. In Sims 4, you can't leave the front of your, or you can walk around in the open world, but you can't interact with anything. So you always have to go into this little loading screen every time you go into a house, or you go into a building, or you enter a park. So everything is segmented, which is why everyone's like, you literally went backward. The Sims 3 was perfect. That was literally the settling point of Sims 3, is that there's no more of the loading when you're trying to go to people's houses, or people come over and they just appear out of thin air. You literally see them walking to your house. It just felt more alive, and yeah. So we were hoping that The Sims 5 basically fixes that issue, but no, that's not happening. They're using Sims 4 as a base to basically make it a live service game from here, with paid expansion still. The multiplayer mode, it's something I've always wanted, and I want to try it. I just didn't want this to be the game that they do this. But I wanted to bring up some more info. And let me... So, they also announced a new game called The Sims Lab. And this is a mobile game, I believe. They were signing up for the playtesting. But through the Sims Labs, we're exploring new experimental ways to play The Sims. Here's a sneak peek at some of what we'll be testing coming up soon to join us in building the future of The Sims. And I guess this is kind of like their playtest thing that they're doing, but the Project Renee that was supposed to be Sims 5, they've kind of watered down and put into a mobile game that will be coming out for phone. And no, that's not what I want. So that was one of the announcements. A Sims movie, because why not? That was also announced. So basically they've done two things with Project Renee. They've made it into a mobile game, and they have also turned it into expansions for The Sims 4. So it seems like we'll still be getting some of those elements that we expected from Sims 5 thrown into Sims 4. But at what cost? I hate this. And this is just the most EA thing I could think of. We have two Sims competitors still left. One of them, Inzoi, which is a Korean dev. It looks pretty crazy, and I'm actually gonna put some footage on screen.
Wait, I'm
And
gonna go to the bathroom real quick, right?
yeah, go ahead. And I'm hoping that this game, one, actually comes out, and two, is actually something that can compete with The Sims. I know they actually had some previews earlier, and they had some mixed reviews. They had some good ones. But yeah, graphically, the art style of it looks pretty crazy. I have that on screen now. So yeah, I'm just really disappointed in this. After losing the game that I was really looking forward to, which was Life by You. If I would have got Life by You, I wouldn't have even cared about Sims 5 like that, because that was basically my Sims 5. This Inzoi game just kind of looks too good to be true. Like, I just don't believe it. But people have had hands-on previews with it, so I guess it is believable. We'll see when it comes out. And then there is also Paralives, which I think has the most potential. And I like that it's going for a more cartoony, like animated, light animated kind of art style instead of trying to go for the realistic. Let's see. Yeah.
Still talking about The Sims?
Yeah, so I'm showing off some of the upcoming competitors that we
Got it.
can look forward to instead of The Sims.
For sure.
Oh, wait, there we go. But yeah, I'm just hoping that these games hit because I need these to hit. I need something that isn't Sims 4 because I still go to Sims 4 and Sims 3 regular. I wouldn't say regularly, but at least like 2-3 times a year I'll put another 20-30 hours into the Sims where I'm just hooked on the Sims for like a couple of weeks. But yeah, I'm gonna stop because I can go on and on about this.
No worries. Yeah, I've never played Sims, so I have no comment on this, to be honest.
I grew up on the Sims, like the Sims busting out on console. That basically started everything. Then learning that the console version was like the like watered down version of it, like the PC version is actually the full experience and what you would want. And I'm like, damn. So I remember getting my first laptop, putting the Sims 2 on it, and I'm just like, oh, bro. And I was hooked ever since. Like, I probably put over, like, as a franchise, I probably put like 2,500, 3,000 hours into the Sims.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Nice. All right.
But yeah, let's move on to our final news topic before we get into the special little special something that we got cooking up for you. Little something. Just
Little
little
some.
And this was the talk of the town, the big one, just in time for Dual-Wield. Thank you Nintendo. Thank you Nintendo for blessing us with this. They were like, we can't leave Dual-Wield without any big news. So, you know, Reggie came down from his chimney and he was like, ho ho ho, here you go. And then we got the Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. Unexpected. Some of these leaks, we kind of already had kind of shaky leaks before, but now it's kind of confirmed that those older leaks were indeed true.
Mm-hmm.
So that is always a good thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Let me get the link. So, starting with, or let me see, where do I want to start with? Do I start?
I say with Kami's tweet.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna put this on the screen.
I think you were the one to say that Nintendo's gonna announce it this month, right?
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
saying end of the month or like October, like first half.
Yeah.
All right. So this is Kami's tweet of the leaks that came out. and these are CAD draw ups for the Switch 2, and basically the very obviously unfinished version of what it's gonna look like. Very similar to the Switch and the Switch OLED. We can see still gonna have that share button. Still gonna have the Joy-Cons that you can use as separate controllers, as you can note with the buttons as the D-pad. On the front, I don't think there's anything really new. Or actually, am I tripping? Or where's my Switch? How many? I know there's home and there's capture.
I'm looking at it
So
now.
what is this third one? Am I tripping?
There's only the capture and the home, and then there's the plus and minus buttons.
Okay, so there's a third button on this one. I wonder what that does.
Where is it? Where is the button?
There's a either you can say that there's an extra one on the right side. Yeah, on the right Joy-Con.
Okay, yeah, I see.
And then
Okay.
the backside, you can see the upgraded kickstand from the OLED model. It looks like a bigger, more durable release for the Joy-Cons to take off,
Yep.
because it's usually like on the original ones it's a very small button. So yeah, and then I'm not sure what these, like the two screen, like are we getting dual models with two different screen sizes? I'm not sure what this is supposed to be.
Maybe it's comparing the OG Switch to the Switch 2. Maybe that's the image.
Yeah, because I do see that it has the slide on the bottom one where you slide the Joy-Con. Whereas this one is going to be magnetic. You actually just slot it in and it locks in. You can kind of see on here, you don't have that little slide rail.
Yeah.
And you can see on the other image, there is no open part where you can slide the Joy-Con in from the top. It's just a hole that you just kind of push it in. Pause. So those are the leak kind of first glimpse at the Nintendo Switch 2. These specs are from an earlier leak that happened, but in handheld mode, sorry, water. In handheld mode, we can expect the power to be right above the PS4 before DLSS. In docked mode, we can expect it to be between the PS4 Pro and Xbox Series S before DLSS, with more modern hardware than the former. The RAM will be 12 gigabyte, which, thank God, Nintendo, please clap for yourself, because you love gimping on RAM. I can't wait for the story that comes out where Nintendo's like, yeah, we were gonna go for 8 gigs, but then Capcom was like, nah, we stop, add some more RAM, bruh. Because that's basically what happened with the Switch. They were gonna go with 3 gigs of RAM, and then Capcom was like, if you want Monster Hunter to run on this, you need to put you need to get that shit to 4 gigs at least. And then they bent the knee. They were like, damn, we love some Monster Hunter. We love that Monster Hunter money. So they bent the knee for Capcom. I'm wondering if they if someone talked them into the 12 gigs, or they were just like, yeah, 12 gigs from the start. But it is gonna be a little slower than the PS5 and Xbox Series X. I know the PS5 OG has slower RAM than the Xbox. But it does have more RAM than the Series S, and you can probably expect around 10.5 to 11 gigs available for the games, and the rest going to the OS, which I actually think it'll be. I think because of how much RAM they have, we'll actually see a bigger bump, or a bigger, more robust OS, which means it's gonna take up more space as well, because Nintendo consoles, handhelds, and consoles had chatting, voice chat, messaging. It had all of that until the Switch, because they had to allocate as much resources to games that they couldn't sacrifice having those things. So with this 8 GB jump, I can see them bringing that stuff back. But Digital Foundry and Nate Drake, aka Nate the Hate, heard about decompression techniques and fast load times of the Breath of the Wild tech demo. And then not only is the Switch to ARM based rather than x86 like the PS5 and Series X, it's also a NVIDIA chip versus AMD. There are plenty of factors to play to where it's not an apples to apples comparison. Plus, the native tensor cores of the Switch 2 will allow for DLSS, letting the system punch above its weight. So let's see, is this even still up? Yeah, so the photos are still up, I think. Oh, maybe not. They might have got took down.
The photos in Kami's tweet?
No, I went to the actual link.
Oh, like the Reddit link?
Yeah. It looks like it was strike. And you know what strikes mean? You know what strikes mean?
Yup. It's real. These leaks are real.
Allegedly,
yeah.
There's a good chance that it could be real. But yeah, let me bring up another tweet. But yeah, as far as the device itself, just looking at it, it's not really given much. It just looks like the Switch. But hopefully we get that reveal, and then we can see what makes this one special.
I seen that they're apparently also going to have 256 gigs of storage.
Yep.
So that's pretty solid.
UFS 3.1, which is kind of like right under the Series X, Series S's speed when it comes
But it's
to...
still like SSDs, right? Kind
Yeah.
of. Okay.
You see them in phones, mostly.
Got it.
Sorry.
I have Andy Robinson's post of the leaks. A summary of the alleged Switch 2 image leaks. Oh, they're pretty much just the same images.
Yeah. Okay. So instead of there was some other kind of newsworthy Switch 2 related uh news that came out because what hold on, my bad. Because there was some interesting things happening behind the scenes with some developers, with some media outlets. Suddenly, some of these developers and media outlets got invited to Nintendo of America, I believe, yesterday. And yeah, what could that be about? So the tweet in question, this one comes from Laura Kate Dale, where she says, so not to be a conspiracy theorist, but a lot of developers seemingly got invited to visit Nintendo yesterday, Nintendo of America. This is far from the only example. Sure feels like maybe devs might have been getting a look at some hardware ahead of it getting a public reveal. And then this shows Josh Fairhurst from Limited Run. And he goes on to say, we had an awesome visit to Nintendo of America today. I'm grateful that we have such great partners at NOA. And then another tweet. This is coming from Nintendo Prime, where he was, or I guess this is from NVC, Nintendo Voice Chat, the podcast at IGN, because they said on the show that they got invited to Nintendo for something next week, but they can't talk about it. Devs yesterday pressed next week. The math is mathing. It's almost time. Now, I'm gonna. I just want to temper expectations as much as I wanna be hyped. I don't wanna be disappointed just because we know that next week Zelda comes out. So that's the only thing that is keeping me from being like, oh yeah, this is the Switch 2. Like they're getting invited to look at the Switch 2 and they're gonna talk about it next week. I don't think they would be talking about the Switch 2 like right after Zelda comes out, which is why I'm starting to think in October for sure.
Okay. So you're saying they want to give Zelda a little bit of breathing room before they talk about the next console?
Yeah, they know the initial sales is gonna hit, and you don't want to give people the idea like, oh, well, they're just gonna wait for the Switch 2, or you know. So I don't think we're actually gonna see anything next week, even though I did say that, but I kind of forgot about Zelda. So I'm back to October.
Okay.
But yeah, but then, okay, no, hold on. All right, wait a minute. I'm thinking. Because it would make sense for Nintendo Voice Chat to be invited to play Zelda. But why would a dev from Limited Run need to be invited to play Zelda. It's not like Limited Run is gonna be doing physical copies for them. That would Nintendo distribute their own physical copies. There would be no need for that.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Hold on. Maybe I'm back on next week. Maybe I'm back on the hype train.
Man,
All right.
it's exciting though.
I think I had one more
Okay.
related to this.
Sure.
I don't know if it was anything important or not. Oh yeah, so this was just a roundup of all the little hints. And Liam Robertson from Video Game Chronicle, he says, seems like a lot of developers got invited to NOA yesterday. And that's the thing, developers got invited. So now I'm kind of backtracking. I'm backtracking a little bit because you don't invite. Why would you invite other developers to play Zelda unless you really just got sick and tired of all these sorry ass games that they were making, and you were like, "Here, come play this. This is how you make a real game." But I don't think that's what happened. So, rounds up from Laura K. Dale, the Limited Run Game CEO visiting, and the last one was Andy Robinson. Since the Switch launch, Nintendo has held a Nintendo Direct every September without fail, and usually around now. Just saying, with the eye emoji. And that was from Chris Dream. So yeah. Wait a minute. Why do we have, I don't know who said this. It says Andy Robinson and then it says Christopher Dream. I don't know which one said it. But yeah, man. What are you thinking? Next week? October? Or are you with Sean Mason, who said January?
I feel like Sean he throws out incorrect statements just to be different. But like I think we're all on the same boat here. Soon.
TM?
I want what happened?
Soon TM trademark.
Yeah, soon
Like
trademark.
like the Nintendo. And we're back in that Nintendo's NX era. I love it.
Yeah, I was remembering remember when the first Switch got leaked and it was like that oval shaped
Yes.
machine?
Oh,
Remember
man.
that? Crazy times, right?
Bruh, I didn't know how to feel when I saw this shit. I was like, what do I do with this? I'm
Yeah.
so concerned.
I remember thinking, I was like, what's the aspect ratio of the screen? Like, but yeah, no, I'm excited, man. I know everyone already that listens to this, they know. I'm just waiting for Nintendo to hurry up and get things rolling because I'm excited for them, man. I'm excited for the hardware. I'm excited for their software. I'm really looking forward to doing my first full playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom on the Switch 2, hopefully running at better resolution and frame rates.
You don't need that. The game's perfect.
Yeah, but I'm excited, man. I'm excited, and it can't come soon enough. Hopefully by the next week's episode, we can officially talk about it, and we'll have official screenshots and stuff. And official specs and hopefully the price of it maybe, but we'll see.
What are
see.
you
I know it's
thinking?
gonna happen soon.
What
Am
are
I
you
thinking?
price wise?
Okay, so I would love to see them do a dual SKU, one with an LCD screen and one with an OLED, but we know that's not happening. Yeah, that's not happening. But I think the sweet spot for them is a $399 price tag. I think that would be a nice little sweet spot. But but I could see them going up to 499. But I would like to see them launch it at 399. I think that'd be perfect.
I'm on the 399 boat max. Nothing more, nothing less. 399. That is the number. The price is right. Or if you go above 399, even if it's 449, you're getting too close to the PS5 and Series X. That was one of the big things that killed the Wii U. That 349.99 price tag for the one that actually mattered, the one that
Yeah.
was actually usable, the black one. That 399 or 349 price tag sitting right below the PS4. When it obviously was not comparable spec wise or anything. They learned with the Switch. They brought that. They made sure they hit that $300 sweet spot, and it worked out for them. But let's see what else. Yeah, 399. That's just what I just think that with the success of the original Switch, I think because when you look at the specs of it, you kind of like I can understand why people are just like, yeah, that might be $499. Like, you see what they doing in this? This is not our ordinary Nintendo who tries to like skimp when they can. This is actually like a well built, like every facet that you can think of is covered. It has fast storage, has the decompression, has fast enough RAM and enough RAM. Um the GPU, the APU, CPU GPU combo. CPU is 9 times out of 10 gonna be better than the um Series X and the PlayStation, just because of how newer it is. But then the GPU alone is already pretty powerful. But then when you throw in the DLSS, which I think, as long as the implementation of DLSS is just as like if it has DLSS on PC, it'll automatically just translate for the Switch version as well. If it works like that, then we're gonna see a lot of games take advantage of it. So there's really not a lacking area for this. Like when you compare it to a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, it's really like shitting on those in terms of power. Actually
Yeah, on
curious to see
paper.
what that battery life looking like.
That might be the one drawback.
Yeah, I could see battery life being an issue.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Nintendo usually goes out of their way to make sure they hit a certain standard when it comes to battery life, even if it means downclocking like they did the X1. But yeah, any final thoughts before we move on to our last segment?
For the Switch 2, I'm just curious what they're gonna call it. I think the rumor is that they're just gonna call it the Switch 2, right?
Yeah, I don't believe it.
You don't believe that?
I don't believe. I actually like it would make sense, and it would be the right thing to do. But at the same time, I don't want it to be called the Nintendo Switch 2 because it just it doesn't fit Nintendo. It doesn't seem like the Nintendo thing to do.
Got it. Yeah, yeah. I'm really just curious to see what they're gonna name it. I'm definitely really excited to see the software. Um, new Mario Kart. I love Mario Kart. It's the best kart racer. Hopefully that a new title can get shown off. New 3D Mario game. You know, everyone's talking about Astrobot being an amazing 3D platformer. We'll see what Nintendo's cooking up over there.
Great.
The hardware seems like it's really well. It seems like they're having like a more than just like a one generation jump. It seems like they're kind of jumping like two generations. You know what I'm saying? Because
The largest technical. What did Sarah Bond say? The greatest technical leap in a console generation ever. Nah, fuck all that. This is the largest technical leap, at least in Nintendo's generations. This is the biggest leap since SNES to N64. Like the power difference we haven't seen, because when you think about it, it's been such slight increases ever since the like N64 to GameCube. Obviously, that was a big one. Then the Wii was basically just a slightly powered up GameCube, like very slightly.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Wii U moved them into the HD era, and there definitely were games that were impressive on there. Xenoblade Chronicles X, Bayonetta 2, they were looking like PS4 and Xbox One games. But I wouldn't call that a big leap from the Wii. I mean, I guess it kind of is, because it at least
It's a big leap from the
yeah,
Wii,
'cause
but from the Wii U to the Switch, it's not a big leap at all.
yeah, definitely not. The Switch is basically like Wii U powered.
Yeah, exactly.
Little bit more, and especially because of the RAM, because the Wii U only had 2 gigs. The RAM upgrade, the CPU upgrade helped with some of these games like Doom and stuff that were coming over. But yeah, this leap is, it feels like they're, instead of just going the leap that they would usually do, they decided to actually catch up to what we would expect, especially and I want to say, I'm gonna say this, I think the Steam Deck is to thank for this. I think they saw the Steam Decks and ROG Allies and all of this boom in the handheld space, and they were like, we shouldn't be outdone by this.
Yeah.
And I think if the Steam Deck never really came around and handhelds were still just a Nintendo thing, I don't think they would have done that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you with that. I think them seeing Valve and the RG, who's the company behind RG?
Asus.
Asus. Yeah, they see Valve and Asus kind of like it kind of put a fire like under them, like you said, they don't want to be outdone. They want to have the best handheld and handheld hybrid, I guess you could say. But
Because
yeah, no,
even though you can say the Switch was underpowered compared to any handheld out there, it was, or at least like mainstream, because
in 2017, yeah,
there was definitely like the Aya, like Aya was out there doing those Windows PC gaming things, and they were powerful, but like they were very, very niche products.
yeah.
But as far as like a consumer friendly handheld, that was a huge leap from the 3DS, which was like the biggest handheld platform before it. So
yeah,
but yeah, we'll see what happens next week.
Yup.
Hopefully
We'll see.
before we record, not after.
Yeah. For sure.
But
We got 10 minutes left, bro.
yeah. With that, let's get into the special topic for episode 5. And what is this topic? Episode 5, we decided that we were gonna do a little fun thing where we do some top 5 lists. Not just one, not just 2, but a shit ton. And we're gonna try to speed through these. 'Cause I do got a little time limit, but I want to make sure that we get as many of these as possible. So give me a second. All right. So top 5, starting with this. All right, top 5 unreleased games, and by that I mean games that were announced or rumored, saw leaks, we saw stuff for, and we heard the details, but we never got it in our hands. It disappeared into ashes as soon as it touched. What are your top 5?
Okay. You want me to just spit them out there, like all
Yeah.
5? Okay.
Spit them out, and then if you wanna talk about one for a bit, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay. All right. So I have here Mega Man Legends 3. I think that was what's the original director of Mega Man? What's his name?
Keiji Inafune.
Yeah, that was Keiji Inafune's last game with Capcom, I believe. Yeah, so I think they were trying to like crowdfund this or something. It was like a weird thing going on with this game, but never came out. Really unfortunate, because Mega Man deserves to have a modern game that's any modern game actually, because the last one just came out a while ago. But outside of collections and outside of the 2D stuff, it deserves a 3D game. And Mega Man Legends 3, sad, R.I.P. Second one is Agent, a Rockstar game that
Yep.
was announced on one of Sony's E3 presentations. The description of this game was cool. They showed off no gameplay. It was supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive as well. Never came out. Unfortunate. Another one that I have is Star Wars 1313, which was also shown off at one of EA's E3 showcases. It's looked to be kind of like an Uncharted, but with a Star Wars skin. And I know the audience knows how I feel about Uncharted. I love Uncharted, but
And y'all know how I
ended
feel
up
about Uncharted.
yeah, and everyone knows how you feel about Uncharted. But I think for this one, it's not as much of a blow, because the Jedi series kind of
Yeah.
it kind of takes the place of that, like, single player narrative driven, set piece driven kind of action game. But Star Wars 1313 is one disappointing. Another one that I have that I actually don't have any resonance with the IP, but that's PT. Or Silent Hill, which was
Yeah,
supposed to be
Silent Hill.
Hideo Kojima's
game.
horror game. Yup. So there's that one, which PT was a demo, huge. Everyone,
We're kind of getting PT back in a way with OD.
yeah. But yeah, that was supposed to be Guillermo del Toro and Hideo kind of coming together, making this cool little horror game. Never happened. And of course, the last one that I have here is Scalebound.
Had to.
R.I.P. Scalebound.
We all know Scalebound.
Yeah.
All right. As for myself, Scalebound, it's on the list. You already know. Um, The Last of Us Factions 2. Come on. You know.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Definitely.
hold on. I'm sorry. There's one that I'm missing here, but it's Prey 2.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's it. My bad. Go ahead.
Bully 2. Supposedly still in the works. I mean, I don't think it's actually in the works anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of things that were cool about this game, they kind of just piecemealed and threw into Red Dead Redemption 2, such as being able to enter every building, making everything interactable. Every building, you can go through every door. There's a room, there's people, there's events happening. They were going for dense instead of wide and shallow, like the GTA series. And yeah, I just love Bully. We need that back. I was hoping for like a college setting, do like the hazing scene. That would have been a cool way to expand Bully. Third, wait, third, fourth, whatever.
I think you're on 3.
Third, Star Wars 1313 was also in mind. And just to throw in the Project Ragtag, which was Amy Hennig's one, which again, Jedi Fallen Order kind of just wrapped all those into one. It was like, hey, we got y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually not sure what my fifth one is.
Potentially, what's that
I'm
game
gonna
that
say
a Contraband? Potentially Contraband could be on there
Oh,
soon.
bro. I'm gonna say that the Spider-Verse multiplayer game, just to throw a fifth.
Okay.
All right. Let. All right. Top 5 gaming disappointment. All of these are gonna be the Xbox One, PS4 era. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna list them off. Watch Dogs.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Unity. Damn, what am I thinking right now? Mario Strikers, the new one, Battle League or whatever it's called. That one was a huge disappointment, especially on the way that they handled the online. They did an abysmal job with that. Why am I forgetting the ones that I had? I should have wrote these down, honestly. I was like, I'll have them off the top of my head. There was... I feel like I said one of them earlier, too. You go ahead. I'll think of something.
I got you. Okay, so, one of them that I have, or my 5 are, the first one is Sony shutting down their studios, specifically Zipper and Liverpool, and recently Studio Japan. What else? I'm missing. I'm missing so many. Gorilla Cambridge.
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone that worked on Vita games. They shut all this down. So that's my 1. My 2 is BioWare's demise. You know, they were on top of the they were on top of the game, and they made Anthem, and they made Mass Effect Andromeda. No Man's Sky's launch. I remember. Well, this can be a bigger one. It could just be games launching unfinished, I guess you could say. But the one that I have in particular is No Man's Sky. The guy Sean Murray
Halo
was on
MCC.
stage. Halo
MCC
MCC
was
is
the
a bad one.
and Battlefield 4 was the
Battlefield
other one. I was
4,
like, I know I said
exactly.
all of them like earlier.
We can consider maybe Cyberpunk as well. Cyberpunk launching pretty poorly.
Yeah.
Just technical issues for games. That has also been in this generation as well. I think that was for Fallout 76 as well as one of them
Oh, bro,
that launched bad.
that's a good one. I should have.
Yeah. And I will say the launch of the PlayStation 5 and Series X and S. The fact that it was like no one could get the consoles. That was really disappointing because I remember my boys were all like, "Yo, we have the money for them. You know, we got the money for it. We just can't fucking get them." And I'm like, "Yeah, this is definitely disappointing." So I'll say the launch of those two consoles.
All right. We might have to finish these later.
Yeah.
So
No
we're gonna
worries.
do one more.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw a curve.
Okay.
All right, top 5 genres of video
Genres.
games.
Okay. All right. I'll just go. So I got let's do action adventure. So the character action can be a part of this. You know, Souls games can be a part of this. I love action adventure games. I love character action games. So that's one. 2 I have is platformers. So regardless if it's 3D or 2D, regardless if it's action based, I love me some platformers. 3 I'll put first person shooters, of course. You got to put those up there. I'm a huge Halo guy. I'm a huge Call of Duty guy. I love me some FPSs, and FPSs are one of the first genres for me that I actually played with people. So there's that. I think that's 4. I'll do open world RPGs. That's my last one. Very immersive. I think you can't beat the level of immersion that open world RPGs give you. Yeah.
All right. As for myself, JRPG, gotta love them. Action RPG, action. I'll just say action games in general.
Yeah.
The Bayonettas, the Tales of series. Management games, whether it be something like a game dev tycoon or I just love those type of games. I get engrossed in them pretty. Even the ones like the random simulators, like supermarket simulator, things like that.
Okay.
I can just get engrossed. Farming sim RPGs, the Stardew Valleys, the Harvest Moons, the My Time at Portia's Evershine, all of those.
Nice.
I can play like all of the new ones that come out. I end up playing and putting hours into. And then open world game, yeah. And then honorable mention to visual novels.
Oh, I gotta throw out an honorable mention to Metroidvanias.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. But yeah, that was 5, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, sorry, I need to
The dip.
end a little early.
Nah, you good, man.
I'm
You good.
sorry, but we'll finish this at the start of the next show. 'Cause we do have-
I'm really excited to share my music list.
Oh yeah, let's go. And with that, that is it. That is all we have for you today. Thank y'all for tuning in, and for all the good people in the chat after leaving comments or while we're doing the premiere, leaving comments in the premiere chat. We really appreciate y'all. Make sure you guys hit that like because we love you guys and it helps us grow this channel. If you're not subscribed and enjoyed the show, make sure you hit that like button, or subscribe button, I should say, so you can stay updated whenever Dual-Wield Gaming Podcast drops. And tomorrow, we'll be dropping this episode at 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Now, let's go ahead and get these outros out the way. Subeg, what you got going on, and where can we find you?
So I am, like I said, stay tuned for my Plucky Squire review. I'm also going to be posting a video review as well. So stay tuned in the upcoming days for that. I'm going to be playing some Astrobot today. I'm also going to be playing some homework, which is unfortunate, but I got my duties. And I am probably gonna eat after this, and yeah, I'm excited. I didn't hit the gym. I haven't been consistent with it, but that's the one thing that I've been sacrificing is for me taking on all these like duties with like school and like Lord's Gaming and stuff like that. I've noticed that the gym has been taking a back seat, but I'm still trying to get into it. So yeah, for anyone out there, I'm not gonna leave y'all with some workouts to do. I'm gonna say I hope y'all stay hydrated.
All right. And as for myself, Don Otaku, y'all can find me on Twitter, Pasta Feet, F3ET, as well as twitch.tv/Don Solo, sometimes, maybe. And then obviously here on YouTube at Don Otaku, where I'll be also doing Project Untitled Gaming Podcast every Saturday, usually at 12 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. We will be back on schedule, I believe, this week. So this Saturday, tune in for that. And what am I going to be doing? I'm about to go to work. And then after that, come home, do some gaming, chilling.
Nice.
But yeah, am I looking forward to anything this week, gaming wise? I actually don't know. Looking forward to Zelda, but I think that's coming out after we'll record.
I'm looking forward to Aura for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely Aura.
Mm-hmm.
And Frostpunk 2. Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot about both of those. But yeah, with that, let's get out of here. Any final word for the people?
Thank y'all for watching and supporting. I appreciate the comments. Shout out to Neo Game Spark, man. That made me happy. But yeah, shout out to everyone that watches and supports. You guys are fucking awesome. And I hope y'all have a great day.
And for me, make sure you guys floss your teeth after brushing every time. You need to floss, get in between, getting them gums. Your gums look inflamed, okay? Use some floss. And with that, let's get out of here. Peace out, y'all. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Peace.